Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about bottom-up models of control, and then let's talk about top-down models of control. In a bottom-up model of control, basically there's typically like a lacking mineral. There is an item, like perhaps a mineral or a nutrient. That is lacking. The influence this lacking mineral has goes from lower trophic levels good, right? Maybe a zoom in will help. It's too bright. Take down the brightness. Better? Still helping?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Is that
That's good. Continue.
too far? I've gone too far. It's the story of my life. Get it? No? Okay. Perfect. That's very good. Okay. So trophic levels from lower trophic levels to higher trophic levels. Now in the case of a top-down control model, this would be like when you have predators or consumers. So predators / consumers exert a control on lower levels. So kind of off to the side a little bit, what I'm thinking of in my head is like a food pyramid or a trophic pyramid, showing me my different levels. Right? What's at the very bottom always? Producers. Then primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers, right? And so the question is, does your tertiary consumer affect all levels below, or does your producer level affect all levels above? Again, is this a bottom-top control method or a top-bottom control method? And again, that's just two different styles of control. Cool? I mean, you really kind of have to look like, for instance, Jamie planted a garden last year, and the garden didn't grow anything. Come to find out, there was no fertilizer. Like, we never put down fertilizer. So that would be a bottom-top mechanism. Right? Then the following year, or then this next year, well, I'll be sure to fertilize it, because if I don't, she'll get very upset. But I will introduce, like, an invasive rabbit species into the backyard. And that invasive rabbit species will most likely eat all of her vegetables. So that would be a top-bottom control mechanism. Cool?
So is this only when something goes wrong?
Yeah. I mean, it's really not necessarily wrong. It's just like when you observe, a change that's occurring. Like you can observe this at any point in time. Now, typically you observe this when something's going wrong. Like the two examples I've just said are basically about Jamie's garden not working out. Now, is it because of a lack of fertilizer, or is it because of an invasive rabbit species? So you would only recognize this typically when something's wrong. A disturbance is basically an event in which you have a large-scale change to a community. Disturbances can be caused by a number of things, but fire is probably one of the more common ones. Any other natural disaster, massive flood, or any human interference could all be disturbance, things that can cause disturbance. Cool. And the way it works out is that in the event that you have like a fire or a major natural disaster, early showing species end up paving the way for late arriving species. Bless you. And we'll see that again in just a little while. But what I'm saying is that after you've had a fire and all the trees have burned down, the first thing that shows back up is little weeds, little flowers, little angiosperms. And that paves the way, that kind of sets the stage for the late arriving species like your big trees and whatnot. Bless you. You okay, buddy? Ecological succession. This is a sequence of community and ecosystem changes after a disturbance. There's two types of succession. There's a type that is called primary succession. And there's a type that's called secondary. In the case of primary succession, primary succession is going to be occurring where no soil exists. When the succession begins. In the case of secondary succession, this begins in an area where soil has remained after a disturbance. Think of it like a volcano. Typically that's like the only thing the best one to ever think about would be like a volcano. We're going to like a new planet, someplace where there's never been soil before. So it'd have to be a volcano or a new planet. No, because I mean this succession usually means like for an environment, and a lichen grows on a tree. You could say that would be like you're talking about the little yellow lichens that you would see sometimes growing on rock. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could consider that primary succession, but then primary succession typically not only means there's no soil, that also means there's never been anything else here. So it's got to be brand new to the area. Okay. What's up? Whatever. Your essay was good? Hopefully it was more than like 2 sentences.
No, I wrote the whole front and the whole back.
Very good. I saw your essay. You did right on the entire front and on the entire back.
I had a Cosmos 2 recon.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer. Enough space for all my hard drive. Seriously, this guy said like 15-hour birthday. It's crazy. You know, it's like this small, but it's what I have.
Good. Let's remind ourselves, what is an ecosystem? Okay, that's right. That's something where dog lives. It's all organisms and environment. As well as all abiotic factors.